Right, Perth is about to hit 44 degrees while Darwin sits at 28. Yeah, you heard that correctly. The West Coast is running 16 degrees hotter than the tropical north, and that S not even the wildest part of what S developing across the country. Is your area about to cop a dangerous heat spike, severe storms, or both at the same time? Because right now the Bureau of Meteorology has severe weather warnings current for Western Australia, South Australia and parts of Victoria, affecting more than 8 million Australians. Over the next 15 minutes, I am going to break down exactly when these systems hit, which models are disagreeing about the weekend, and the one location that could see something completely unexpected by Friday. But first, chuck your city or town in the comments right now. Seriously, drop it in there because I'll be doing personalised forecasts for your specific locations in tomorrow S video, and I need to know where you lot are watching from. Sydney, you are currently sitting at 31 degrees, climbing to 34 tomorrow, then 36 Friday, before a cooler change drops you back to 28 on Saturday. Melbourne, 28 today, 32 tomorrow. But here, S, where it gets interesting for you, potentially 37 on Friday with northerly winds ahead of that change. Brisbane, 33 degrees, staying fairly steady at 34 through to Friday, but the humidity is the real story. Feels like temps pushing 40. Perth, and this is the big one, 42 today, 44 tomorrow, then an absolute scorcher of 46 on Friday. Adelaide, URE tracking similar to Melbourne, 29 today, 34 tomorrow, 38 Friday. Hobart, you are the coolest capital at 23 degrees, but even you are climbing to 28 by Friday. Canberra, 30 degrees today, 34 tomorrow, 37 Friday. Now, let me show you what S actually driving all this. There is a massive high-pressure system sitting over the Tasman Sea, and it's basically locked in place. This high is pumping hot northerly winds right down the eastern seaboard, dragging air from inland Australia straight over the capitals. At the same time, Western Australia S copping a heat trough that S intensifying, and this is where the models start to disagree. Access, that S, our Australian model, is showing this heat trough staying relatively stationary through Friday, which would keep Perth and the southwest absolutely cooking. But the European model reckons it shifts eastward faster, which would actually spread that extreme heat into South Australia and Western Victoria earlier than Access suggests. This difference matters because we're re-talking about the potential for catastrophic fire danger ratings versus just extreme ratings. Tomorrow morning S model runs should give us a clearer picture, so definitely check back. The Bureau has issued a total fire ban for most of Western Australia tomorrow, and there is a very real chance that extends to parts of South Australia and Victoria for Friday. I cannot stress this enough. If you are in a bushfire-prone area, now is the time to check your fire plan. With temperatures like these and the dry conditions we've had, it doesn't take much for things to go badly wrong. The fire danger ratings across the southwest tomorrow are sitting at catastrophic in some districts, extreme in others. This isn't about being alarmist. It's just the reality of what these conditions produce. For you lot in regional Western Australia, let me break this down more specifically. Geraldton, you're looking at 43 tomorrow, 45 Friday. Kalgoorlie, 41 tomorrow, 43 Friday. And you know that is genuinely dangerous when you read that far inland with minimal coastal influence. Bunbury, 40 degrees tomorrow, 42 Friday. Broome, you are actually one of the coolest spots at 35 degrees, but even that's above average for this time of year. Albany, you'll top out around 38 tomorrow, which for you coastal folks is pretty intense. Right, shifting focus to South Australia. Mount Gambier, you re-sitting at 28 today, but you were jumping to 36 Friday. Whyalla, 33 today, 39 Friday. Port Augusta, and this one S, concerning 36 today, climbing all the way to 42 Friday. That is a genuine heat health concern for anyone working outdoors or in poorly ventilated areas. Make sure you rechecking on elderly neighbours and anyone vulnerable. Now, here's the thing that has got me watching closely. There is a weak tropical low developing in the Coral Sea, and while it is currently not expected to intensify into a cyclone, it's creating a really interesting setup for Queensland's East Coast. The moisture from this system is being drawn southward by that high-pressure system I mentioned earlier, and when you combine tropical moisture with the heat we've got building, you get the potential for some pretty significant thunderstorm activity. I'll come back to this in about 3 minutes because because the timing on this is still uncertain. But Brisbane, Gold Coast and Sunshine Coast, you need to be aware this is developing. Victoria, let me give you the regional breakdown. Geelong, 27 today, 31 tomorrow, 36 Friday. Ballarat, 24 today, 29 tomorrow, 34 Friday, and that's well above your average for late January. Bendigo, 29 today, 34 tomorrow, 38 Friday. Shepparton, you are one of the warmer regional centres, 31 today, 36 tomorrow, potentially touching 40 on Friday. Hang on, let me clarify that. The latest access run has you at 39, but there's enough uncertainty that 40 is definitely possible. Tasmania, you're not escaping this entirely. Launceston, 24 degrees today, climbing to 29 by Friday. Devonport, 22 today, 27 Friday. Even for you lot down south, these are elevated temperatures. And combined with any northerly winds, the fire danger does tick up. It's not catastrophic like the mainland, but it's worth being aware of. For New South Wales regional areas, here what you're re-looking at. Newcastle, 32 today, 35 tomorrow, 37 Friday before that southerly change. Wollongong, similar story, 31 today, 34 tomorrow, 36 Friday. Coffs Harbour, URE sitting at 33 today, staying reasonably steady around 34 through the week, but watch that humidity. Wagga Wagga, you inland folks are really copping at 34 today, 38 tomorrow, potentially 41 Friday. Dubbo, 33 today, 37 tomorrow, 40 Friday. These inland temperatures combined with the dry conditions we've had are a real concern for fire weather. Now back to that Queensland situation I mentioned. The tropical low in the Coral Sea is sitting roughly 500 kilometres northeast of Cairns. It's moving slowly westward and the latest guidance suggests it stays below cyclone intensity. However, and this is important, even non-cyclonic tropical lows can produce very heavy rainfall and severe thunderstorms. The models are showing this system potentially triggering storm activity along the Queensland coast from Thursday afternoon through Saturday. Gold Coast, you could see storms Thursday evening. Brisbane, Friday, looks like your most likely day for storm activity. Sunshine Coast, similar timing to Brisbane. Cairns and Townsville, you are on the northern edge of this, so you might see some showers and storms, but the main action looks like staying further south. Actually, I should be more specific about what this means. We're not talking about your typical summer afternoon storms. The access model is showing the potential for storms producing 50 to 100 millimetres in localised areas, wind gusts up to 80 kilometres per hour, and the usual suspects of heavy rain leading to flash flooding in prone areas. The European model is slightly less aggressive, showing 30 to 60 millimetres, but even that significant. The uncertainty here is around exactly where the heaviest falls set up. If that tropical low shifts track by even 50 kilometres, it changes which parts of the coast cop the worst of it. So yeah, check back tomorrow because we'll have better clarity. Queensland regional centres, let me run through these quickly with varied detail. Toowoomba, 32 today. You are looking at 35 tomorrow. Storm potential Friday afternoon. Townsville, 33 degrees, staying pretty consistent, but you could see increased shower activity Friday into Saturday. Cairns, 32 degrees, warm and humid, typical for this time of year, but watch for those potential storms. Mackay, 31 today, 32 tomorrow. You are in that zone where the tropical moisture might spark up some storm activity. Northern Territory, Darwin, you re-sitting at 32 degrees through the week. It's actually your wet season, so afternoon storms are par for the course. Catherine, 37 today, 38 tomorrow. You re-seeing typical January heat. Alice Springs, and this is interesting, you at 39 today, climbing to 42 by Friday. For the centre, that hot but not record breaking. However, if you are planning any outdoor activities in the red centre, take it seriously. The heat out there is dry and intense. There's one thing about this forecast that really got me concerned, and it's the potential for compounding factors. When you've got extreme heat in the south and west, combined with storm potential in the east and bushfire conditions developing, it stretches emergency services thin. If you in Western Australia or South Australia, your focus is heat and fire danger. If you are in southeast Queensland or northern New South Wales, you are watching for severe storms and potential flooding. But here's what worries me. If that tropical low tracks slightly further south than expected, you could get southeast Queensland copping both the extreme heat and severe storms within hours of each other. That S, not the most likely scenario, but it S possible, and it S something I'll be monitoring closely. Right, if you haven't dropped your location in the comments yet, do it now. I am going through every comment tomorrow and giving specific updates for your areas. Whether you in a capital city or a small regional town, I want to know where you're rewatching from. It helps me make these videos more relevant to you. And honestly, I find it interesting seeing where everyone's tuning in from. Let me talk about the weekend, because this is where things potentially improve for some areas, but stay challenging for others. That cool change I mentioned for the eastern capitals, it S coming through Friday night into Saturday. Sydney, you drop from 36 Friday to 28 Saturday. Melbourne, you go from 37 Friday to 26 Saturday. That's a genuine relief after the heat. Adelaide, 38 Friday, 27 Saturday. The southerly change is quite strong. Wind gusts potentially 50 to 60 kilometres per hour with the front. So if you've got outdoor furniture or anything that can blow around, Friday evening is the time to secure it. But here's the catch. Western Australia, you don't get that relief as quickly. Perth, you're still at 42 on Saturday, only dropping to 38 on Sunday. That's an extended period of dangerous heat. And it's really important that people understand the health implications. Heat exhaustion and heat stroke are real risks with temperatures this high for this long. Stay hydrated, avoid outdoor activity during the hottest part of the day, check your air conditioning S working, and seriously, check on vulnerable people in your community. The models are showing another interesting development for early next week, and I'll touch on this briefly because it is still quite uncertain. There is a potential for another low pressure system developing in the Bight, which could bring rain to South Australia and Victoria. The Access model has this system developing Sunday into Monday, tracking eastward. The GFS model, that S, the American model, is less enthusiastic about it, showing a weaker system. The ECMWF sits somewhere in between. What this means practically is that Adelaide, Melbourne and potentially inland New South Wales might see rain early next week, but the amounts and timing are still very much up in the air. Tomorrow, S Update will have better information on this. New South Wales South Coast, Bateman's Bay, 30 degrees today, 33 tomorrow, 35 Friday. Eden, 28 today, 31 Friday. Victoria S East Coast, Bairnsdale, 28 today, 33 Friday. Sale, 27 today, 32 Friday. South Australia S regions, Ceduna, 37 today, 41 Friday. Port Lincoln, 36 today, 40 Friday. Now, there's one location that could cop something unexpected, and it is the Snowy Mountains region. The alpine areas, Thredbo, Perisher, are currently sitting at around 15 to 18 degrees. When that southerly change comes through Friday night, there's an outside chance of snow showers above 1,800 metres. It's not guaranteed, and it would only be light dustings if it happens, but the models are split on this. Let me compare what the different models are showing for Friday S maximums in Melbourne. Access has Melbourne at 37 degrees. The European model has it at 35. The GFS model has it at 38. That 3-degree spread affects fire danger ratings and health warnings. This is why checking back tomorrow matters, because the models converge as we get closer. Queensland S inland areas, Longreach 40 degrees today, 41 tomorrow. Roma 39 today, 40 tomorrow. Mount Isa 39 degrees through the week, pretty steady. You lot are used to this sort of heat, but it doesn't make it any less dangerous. The southerly change timing is crucial for planning. Sydney, the change arrives around 10 p.m. Friday night. You'll notice the wind shift first, then temperature drop follows. Melbourne, you are getting it earlier, around 6 p.m. Friday. Adelaide, similar timing, around 7 p.m. Friday. Canberra, around midnight Friday into Saturday. Hobart, you will notice things cooling Saturday morning. For anyone doing outdoor activities this weekend, here is my advice. If you are in Western Australia, South Australia or inland New South Wales and planning anything outside Friday, do it very early morning or cancel it. It is not worth the health risk. If you are on the East Coast, wait until Saturday after the change. If you are in Queensland and storms fire up, avoid being outside during active storm periods. Beach conditions for this weekend. Sydney beaches, reasonable Wednesday and Thursday, choppy Friday with northerly winds, rough surf Saturday after the southerly change. Melbourne beaches, similar pattern. Perth, even the Fremantle doctor might struggle with this heat. Brisbane and Gold Coast, Watch for thunderstorms Friday. Get out of the water if you see lightning. The one detail that S got me watching most closely is that potential for the heat to set up positive feedback loops for fire weather. When it gets this hot, any fires that do start create their own weather systems. You get intense updrafts, you get erratic winds, you get embers travelling ridiculous distances. This is why total fire bans are so critical and why on catastrophic fire danger days, the message is simple: leave early or be prepared to defend. Although honestly, on catastrophic days, the safest option is always to leave. Right, final comment reminder before I wrap this up. If you want a personalised forecast for your specific area tomorrow, you need to leave your location in the comments. I am talking specific towns, not just states. The more specific you are, the better I can tailor tomorrow's forecast to what you need to know. And look, I genuinely find it helpful to know where people are watching from because it helps me understand what information is most valuable to you. So to recap quickly, extreme heat building across the south and west, Perth hitting the mid-40s, total fire bans likely for large areas, severe storms possible for southeast Queensland and northern New South Wales, cool change arriving Friday night for the east coast but delayed for Western Australia, and model uncertainty around exact timings and intensities means tomorrow's update will have crucial refinements. The Bureau of Meteorology will be updating warnings throughout the day, so keep an eye on their official alerts as well. I should acknowledge that forecasts this far out carry uncertainty. Things can and do change. What looks likely today might shift tomorrow. That is the reality of meteorology, and I do rather be honest about that than pretend I know exactly what's happening 5 days from now. For tomorrow's video, I'll have updates on how those model runs have converged, specific timing for Queensland storms if they re-still on track, more detail on that potential system early next week, and responses to your location questions from the comments. Thanks for watching, and seriously, your comments and questions make these videos better. Drop your location below, hit that like button if this was useful, and I'll see you tomorrow around 5 p.m. Eastern Time with the updated forecast. Stay safe out there, especially if you are in those heat-affected or storm-prone areas.